Hello, I hope you're doing very well. Before we jump into this, I must warn you that my crossfader is a bit knackered. So some of the transitions that you're about to see might be a bit glitchy or a bit janky. That's the fault of this thing, not the technique I'm going to show you. So what you can see here is a very small, simple project. Now the Force crossfader in its default state, and what I mean by that is when you haven't applied any macros to it, it basically is set up to switch between two groups of tracks, A and B. So you can assign a track to either A or B, and this will kind of move through them. And it's supposed to work like a DJ mixer, so you can bring things in and out or transition smoothly between two songs, for example. So if we look at this project here, you can see I've got 5 tracks. First 2 are called A1, A2. And the second 3 are called B1, B2 and B3. Now if we look down here, you can see A1 and A2 are both assigned to the A side of the crossfader, and the last 3 tracks are both assigned to the B side of the crossfader. So if we play this now, got some bass and drums going, and only these 2 because the crossfader's over here. You can see it be janky when I touch it. But if I want to move over very gently, I can start bringing in the other ones and then fully transition over, so I've got these 3 tracks playing. We go back again, let's drop out. You can do it abruptly, you can do it smoothly, you get the idea. Now this is great, it works really well for performances if you're playing live and you've got some different sections you want to move between. However, there is an issue with it, and that is that if you are trying to capture a recording of a performance into the arranger, this motion of the crossfader doesn't register as automation. So you do your whole sort of performance, you'll be moving this backwards and forwards, and then when you listen to it back, basically you just hit all of the tracks all of the time. I don't know why that's the case. I believe it's because this is just an audio switcher. It might even be analog. I think it's actually happening at the output stage. So this isn't very useful for you if you want to capture a performance. So what I'm going to do is show you a way of replicating exactly the same thing that does indeed capture automation. So the first thing we're going to do is go into all of our tracks and basically turn off the assignments for them. So they're now all going out all the time. The crossfader's now not doing anything. And we're going to go to the I/O tab, and you can see here all of these tracks are now routed to the main outputs. So we're going to change that, and we've gone the wrong way. We're going to go, so the 2 tracks that were on the A side, we're going to route to submix 1, and the other tracks that were on the B side, we're going to send them to submix 2. So, and however big your project was, all of the tracks that you had on your A side would go to one submix, and all of the tracks that you wanted on your B side go to the other one. So you only ever need 2 submixes to do this. So now we've done that, we need to create a macro. So we're going to go to macros and crossfader. So what we're going to do now is create or stack 2 macros on top of each other. So we hit plus to go to assign the first one, and it's the submixes that we want to automate or to control. So we go to submix 1, which is our A, and we go to volume and hit OK, and we do exactly the same thing again for submix 2, mixer, volume. So we've got 2 submixes going on now, and at the moment this crossfader is basically affecting both of them at the same time in the same way. So the first thing we need to do is select the second one and then press flip, and you'll now see that they move in opposition to each other. So as you move it this way and that way, the volumes are going up and down in tandem. The only issue we've got here is the max range of the crossfader. You can see here it's sending that submix to plus 6 dB, which is right at the top, which is going to clip. So all we need to do is tap on the first one, and you can see our range here. If we double tap on it, we want to bring that down, and you can press shift to do fine adjustments, and do the same on this one. Got max is here because it's on the other side. Bring it down to 0. And basically what this means is the submixes aren't going to add or take away any volume from your overall volume. They're not going to change what you do to your individual tracks. So you can basically set and forget this now. And you can see now that if we press launch, we have to let the macro kick in because it won't until you do it the first time. You can see I've reversed the wrong one, so they're on the other sides, but the effect is the same. So we can smoothly between one and the other, does exactly the same thing, or you can go abruptly, and it works exactly the same way. And because we're routing everything to submixes, you can basically put as many tracks as you want. And actually, I think this method works better because you can see here, naturally, as you move across, the two volume kind of curves are going up and down simultaneously. So when you're in the middle part, you don't get a boost of extra loud volume where everything's playing at the same time. And you do get that when you're using the AB side of the Crossfader. Okay, just to show you that this works as advertised, we're now going to record that sort of transition just to show you that this actually works. So we're going to turn on automation, excuse me, automation right here. So it's now going to record any automation that we do. We're going to press and hold record and tap to arrangement, which is now going to record everything we do into here. Get it going. So this is our first scene, or first sort of thing, and you can see it's all recording there, but we're just not hearing any of it because the submixes are muting in and out. So we can now do this. Very smoothly bring in our other tracks. Works perfectly. We can do it abruptly too if we want to, if you're doing a drop down. So if we now go back to the start and switch this, we can go back to arrange and switch this to read. When we press play, we should hear the changes that we've just made, which would have been recorded as automation by the submix volumes. Fingers crossed. Here it comes. And our abrupt one's coming up. So as you can see, it works perfectly. So if you are performing live and you just want to drop a bunch of tracks in and out and you're not fussed about recording it, then the AB kind of selector works perfectly fine. If you are wanting to record a performance or capture a performance where you're bringing things in and out, this submix mute method works perfectly fine as well. And I actually think because of the way it deals with the crossover point with volumes, it actually sounds better. So you might want to consider it when you're performing live anyway. So I hope that was useful. As ever, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, bye.